this has been the best rivalry here in Boston.
They've had some excellent games. I mean, some of the really close and tight-fought games were between these two teams.
Lionel can fly. James with the block. Tanasia Drayton gets the basket and one.
Nice step through that time to avoid the defense.
Jordan Galloway somehow got that one to go.
The New Mission Titans are the Division II state champions.
Happy New Year, Boston, and welcome to the Matadome at Madison Park High School in Roxbury as we open up our coverage of the 2017 BPS basketball season. Tonight, the Brighton Bengals will be taking on the defending state champion New Mission Titans. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. Alan, we got a rematch of last year's sectional finals, which ended up being a phenomenal game. New Mission was able to hang on to win by 3. That was en route to them winning the Division II state championship. Brighton kind of looks the same this year. New Mission a little bit different, but both these teams are right back at it at the top of the Boston City League standings.
Oh, definitely, right. And you talk about rivals. For the past, I'd say, 4 or 5 years now, these two teams, like you said, been up near the top, sort of bouncing back and forth. And for an early January game, this is an amazing atmosphere. I think they figured it out right. Friday night, after school vacation, right? Yep. Everyone in, 4th, 5th game of the season.
That's right.
So both teams, like you said, they're looking toward the top. This is going to be an early test on both sides, both for the coaches and the players.
Without question. Certainly both these two teams looking to sort of catapult themselves after this game. This is always a good rocket boost for a lot of these teams here in the city. First, we'll talk about the state champion New Mission Titans, and they certainly have lost a couple of big guys coming into the season, but one guy who isn't necessarily the biggest guy on the team but plays well down low is Kevin Nunez for New Mission.
Kevin's very versatile. As a matter of fact, last year we saw him a couple of times. He was coming off the bench earlier, but then he earned a few starts.
He did.
And it's interesting. He's only 6 feet tall, but he's actually a decent post player. I mean, he has nice little moves, nice drop step, and he also can step outside and shoot a long set shot. So he's an interesting player for New Mission. Like you said, since they've lost some of their scoring from last year, head coach Corey McCarthy is going to look to Nunez to be one of his main scorers this year.
Without question, McCarthy actually said he's one of the best post players he's ever had because of his technique and his work ethic. Meanwhile, on the other side for the Brighton Bengals, obviously last year's loss in the sectional finals left a bad taste in the Bengals' mouths. But one player who certainly shouldn't be ashamed of how he played last year in that game was Jordan Galloway. He's our spotlight player tonight.
Oh, yeah. Jordan was the point guard. He had a very frustrating first half in that game. Had some turnovers, some bad plays, got frustrated with the officiating also. But he had an amazing last 5 minutes of that game. It looked like New Mission was going to coast to an easy win with a double-digit lead with about 4 minutes to go. Galloway brought the Brighton team all the way back to within one possession. And like you said, New Mission held on to win.
Without question, Jordan with a monster game in that one. 22 points, had some few rebounds. He had 7 assists. Brighton's actually asking him to be a little bit more of a distributor, this season. Which he can.
He definitely can be because he has a tricky dribble, good quickness with the ball, can get it past the foul line and find some layups for his big guys.
And he's certainly done that through the first couple of games this season for the Brighton Bengals. Now, for more on this game, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Ryan Provencher. Ryan, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. I mean, this is game 6, 7 of the season now, but it certainly doesn't feel like it. If you look at this gym, it is packed. This feels almost like a playoff game, and for good reason. These two teams went up in the sectionals last year with New Mission coming out on top. And when you look at it, this is almost like game 1 of the season because both teams have been on the road. They've been playing non-city league games. New Mission was in Florida. Brighton was in New Jersey. So they really, and then they had a week off for like New Year's. So they really haven't gotten a vibe that this is the season, but this is game 1. Coach McCarthy said it himself from New Mission. This feels like game 1. Meanwhile, Coach Coleman said he's not trying to get his guys too amped up on it, that he wants them to feel like it's a regular season game. That's his job. And we're going to see how both coaches handle this atmosphere tonight. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Very interesting take for both coaches because it's January. You still have a month and a half left of the season.
And like you said, these coaches who have been around for a while, 9 years and 8 years, so even though they're young guys, they're sort of veteran coaches now.
Without question. Brighton taking on New Mission. We're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the opening tip-off from the Matadome right after these words. Don't go away.
Got a quarter?
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
To Madison Park High School in Roxbury for our Week 1 coverage of the 2017 BPS basketball season. Starters for New Mission, Charles Mitchell, De La Rosa, Nunez, and Saragulis. Meanwhile, for the Brighton Bengals, it's Galloway, Ortiz, Daring, Perry, and Diaz. We're just about set to go for the opening tap. New Mission in the all-white, Brighton in the all-black, and Brighton controls the opening tap. And you see Galloway inside the paint. Daring for three. Way to start off the ball game for the Bengals for the junior sharpshooter.
Yeah, simply swinging the ball. Open shot. Excellent start.
Nunez back down the other end, gets fouled on his way to the bucket.
We talked about him in the open, and like we said, Pat, that time he started out on the sideline, was able to make a nice move past his defender. And Perry came up to try to get the block, but too much contact and foul.
And Nunez uses the entire rim to knock down the first.
So this atmosphere is amazing for a January game.
Yeah, I'd say the athletic department got it right putting the game at Madison. Both Brighton and New Mission's gyms are pretty small.
Very small.
So this is
that's being polite. I'll tell you. But and you're right, because this is a game. Obviously, we look at the crowd. It's a lot of people interested. Both high schools, excellent showings.
Almost got a city championship type of atmosphere, especially here being at Madison. Got a foul at the top of the key. That's going to be on Charles Mitchell. His first personal foul, first team foul for the Titans.
There's a lot of players on both teams who are seniors now have played against each other for at least 3 years. When you think about it, in some cases 4, because some of these players actually were playing meaningful minutes as freshmen.
Feed it inside to Diaz, and he's able to score over the top.
I'm just noticing, Pat, this is the first time in a number of years that New Mission does not have a lot of size in their starting lineup.
Yeah, very different team for the Titans this year. Turnover for New Mission as Perry comes away with the steal. Galloway firing up a three. And we got a foul over the back. That looks like it's going to be on Michael Derrick.
And what's interesting, you saw Mitchell in there, because I think that the team realizes without a lot of size, everyone has to rebound. And Mitchell got fouled on his rebound attempts.
Here comes Charles Mitchell. Back to his brother Charlie, who knocks down a three for the Titans, and we're tied up at 5.
Talk about familiarity. You can't get any more familiar than two twin brothers who played since they could pick up a ball.
That's a good precursor for our halftime features story that we're going to see here tonight. Perry, beautiful dish inside of Diaz. Jordan Diaz, the big football player.
Yep, trying to get his basketball muscles going now.
That's such a tough transition going from turf to hardwood. Charles Mitchell for three. That one off the back rim. Good rebound from Ty Perry. Ty's now playing the power forward for the Brighton Bengals.
But he's still their main scorer.
Johnny Ortiz with the basket and one.
Well, no, they're going to
call an offensive foul.
They say that it looks like the call is going to be that he ran into the defender, jumped into the defender. Like you said, nice pass there to set him up. Some full court man pressure now from Brighton. Don't usually see this with those two quick Mitchell brothers.
Charlie over to the corner. Saragulis for three. Nunez put back.
On target, right? We talked about him in the open. This is exactly what he does.
Galloway so quick, and his shot's swatted out of bounds by Kevin Nunez.
And Nunez, number 12 in white. Listed as 6 feet. Not sure if he's actually 6 feet, but he plays a lot bigger than his size. We talked about how versatile Nunez is. He's actually defending the point guard for Brighton.
Three minutes gone by here in the first quarter. We're tied up at 7 as Nunez is fouled again on his way to the rim.
A big fella for Brighton. Just couldn't quite move his feet. Diaz enough to get in the path. So Nunez for the second time goes back to the free throw line. He has the move, and like I said, 32 in black, trying to.
And Nunez, no good on the first. Got 4 points and 3 rebounds so far here in the first quarter. Substitution for the Brighton Bengals.
More size coming in.
As Quincy Taylor comes in. Another football player subbing out Jordan Diaz. Nunez 1 out of 2 from the free throw line, so New Mission on top. 8-7.
Both teams want to go full court pressure.
And that was a turnover there by Brighton, so New Mission gets the ball back, up by 1.
Run the basic weave on off the half-court offense.
De La Rosa trying to get it to Saragulis, and that'll go back to the Bengals.
Surprised De La Rosa didn't get a shot out there. He's actually been one of their higher scorers this season in his first few games. They'll depend on him for some scoring, especially inside. He's a really big guard. So he can play a forward position also.
Ortiz for 3. Johnny off the mark. De La Rosa with the rebound. Out to Charles Mitchell. Layup no good. Charlie with a putback. Galloway out of control, and he lost it out of bounds.
I tell you, both teams want to have a fast pace. Halfway through the first quarter, we already have 17 points between them.
Nunez all the way to the rim. Saragulis. Nunez going baseline. Can't get that to go. Taylor with the rebound. Derrick again for three. He
That's
is
that
a
spot.
sharpshooter.
That's his spot.
Michael hit a humongous three last year in the sectional finals to get it to one with less than 10 seconds left, but New Mission was able to hang on.
Oh,
that's a
10 violation.
10-second violation. That's going to go back
How
to
they
Brighton.
ever see that with the Mitchells?
No.
Both of them are so quick.
Substitutions for the Bengals.
With this pace, I think we're going to see a lot of, I think both teams will have to go deep into the benches because this pace is amazing.
LaQ Howard now in for Brighton. LaQ normally the backup point guard, but when he plays with Jordan Galloway, sometimes he can free up Jordan to start scoring. And that's a steal by De La Rosa. Alex all the way to the bucket. Blocked by Taylor.
Good hustle defensively by Taylor to get back into play.
3-on-2 for the Bengals, and that's another offensive foul. That one was close.
Well, it's one of those things that it's going so fast. Like you said, second time we've seen Brighton, because they're used to going right to the rim. They attack very aggressively, but so far they've been victimized with 2 player control fouls.
Saragoulis gets it poked away by Howard. Perry with a deep three, short on that one. Nunez with the save, but Howard's right there. What an up and down pace we've had so far. Daring finally misses one.
Trying for the hat trick.
That was a heat check there by Michael. De La Rosa going baseline. Couldn't finish underneath. Saragoulis. Can't get the up and under to go. Taylor comes down with a rebound. Daring lays it up and in for the Brighton Bengals. They have a 2-point lead. And we got a foul over near the sideline right in front of the Brighton bench, and Coach Coleman doesn't like that one.
It's going to be on Howard.
Substitution for New Mission. Trey Qualls in the ball game now for the Titans. We saw Trey over in the BNBL Championships, put a hurting on the rims over at the Reggie Lewis Center.
Definitely did.
Talked to Coach Coleman about Trey, and he said Trey's sort of finally understanding how Corey wants him to play. He knows how athletic he is. He works hard, but he's sort of didn't understand what it meant to be on New Mission. Now he's starting to, and he's getting more time.
Sometimes it just takes a little longer than players want it to take.
Walls inside, and he'll head to the free throw line.
You definitely look at him. Justin Anthony has the size, height, long wingspan. These wide shoulders, number 14 and on white.
And Corey mentioned if they can get him going, he would be huge for them down the stretch with that size.
Like I said, the size, this is one of the first teams in New Mission I can recall being really this small up front. So if he'll be key, because if he can start to be consistent, he'll obviously earn more playing time, and then size won't be as much of a factor up front.
So Qualls knocks down both free throws. We're tied up at 12 here with 2 minutes gone by in the first quarter. It's been a great one so far. Johnny Ortiz short with that jumper.
Patience for New Mission, the 2 Mitchell brothers. That's a travel, I thought he was going to.
Charlie had sort of a hop, skip, and a jump there.
I thought he was going to shoot the 3 because he got it in a good position.
Substitution for New Mission. You got Nunez in there along with Qualls. And also Shaquille Murray is in for the Titans.
You see the point you made earlier, Pat, about having Howard play with Galloway. They're able to match the quickness and speed of the Mitchell against the Mitchell twins.
Taylor wide open inside for the easy bucket.
Yeah, at that time looked like he had Trey fall asleep a little bit under the basket.
Murray for 3 off the front rim, and that goes off the top of the backboard. Good drive here by Howard, and he's fouled on his way to the basket.
Howard has a lot of energy, good quickness, like we said. Has a steal already, and he'll be able to match his quickness and speed along with the Mitchell twins on both ends of the floor, on offense and defense.
And Howard knocks down the first free throw. McHugh actually started in the sectional finals last year. They had actually Galloway come off the bench.
Right. Once he came in, he stayed.
Yeah. So McHugh's used to getting a good amount of playing time. There's a turnover in the backcourt. Galloway can't get that one to go. And it's going to stay with the Brighton Bengals as that goes out of bounds.
Both teams have good quickness inside. This seems like a very slight edge to Brighton the last couple of minutes.
Daring coming out. As Thomas Mabine heads to the bench.
You can't pick the ball for Mitchells.
Galloway.
Yeah, we talked about his versatility with the ball. Very tricky. It's interesting, too, because he actually has the skills to be a scoring guard, but he handles the ball so well also that Hugh Coleman wants him to be the distributor and be the point guard.
That follows on Trey Qualls, so De La Rosa back in for the Titans. The mission going small here with really Nunez and De La Rosa, the tallest players. Galloway 2 for 2 from the charity stripe, so it's a 6-point lead here for Brighton with 45 seconds left to go in the opening frame. Dangerous pass there for New Mission, and Ortiz almost got the steal.
And the mission seems just to not quite be as in sync as Brighton is so far, even though it's just a 6-point game.
Charlie Mitchell. Shot blocked inside. Stolen away by Shaquille Murray, who got it off the window.
Murray able to get the steal and the putback.
4-point game, 15 seconds left in the opening quarter.
This is one-on-one here. They're going to flatten out.
Howard for 3. Can't get it to go. Quincy Taylor before the buzzer, no good. Everybody take a breath after the first quarter.
It's like a boxing match at this point.
That pace was excellent.
Those first 3 rounds were like that first quarter. And, it's happened like that because both coaches want to push the pace. And it's almost as if they're challenging each other to see which one's going to crack.
We'll be right back with the second quarter in just a few.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury for Game of the Week, our first game of the 2017 BPS basketball season. The New Mission Titans trail the Brighton Bengals 18-14. We're just about ready to start the second quarter here at the Matadome, and New Mission will start off with the basketball. Heck of a pace in the first quarter. We'll see how both teams adjust here in the second. Mitchell inside to Murray. And that goes off of De La Rosa.
I tell you, good hustle by Brighton on defensive end. They have a couple of blocks already.
Johnny Ortiz. No good on that one.
That's a travel there. But that, again, But see, with on the play that Ortiz got that shot, that's the penetration by Galloway that we talked about. Once he penetrates past the foul line, the players have to come up to stop him. That opened up Ortiz on the baseline for the shot.
Galloway inside to Diaz, no good. Daring there for the putback.
Right now, the size for Brighton is giving them a bit of an advantage. And think of this: the Brighton's highest scorer, Tyrone Perry, hasn't even gotten into the game offensively yet.
That's right. He's gotten a couple of rebounds, but nothing on the offensive end.
Daring, meanwhile, has 10 points already, shooting those threes to start the game.
Charles Mitchell, no good in the three. Put back from De La Rosa.
Yeah, De La Rosa, he's got to get going. He really does.
Yeah, Corey McCarthy mentioned Alex is probably the Titans' best overall scorer. The Mitchells
right, in terms of variety, right.
You know, Charles is a great three-point shooter, but as you see, another travel call on Charlie Mitchell. The Mission now with 6 turnovers here in the first half. Brighton with just 3.
Yeah, the 6 for New Mission, that's really uncharacteristic for them. But again, with the pace, you can't be surprised. I'm more surprised that Brighton only has 3 turnovers.
Daring again. That one from
he launched that one. Right?
The Cardinal at half court.
There you go.
Mitchell just inside the three-point line, no good. And that goes out of bounds, back to the Titans.
Well, give Galloway some credit. He's trying to get Perry on the score sheet. Perry hustled and ran down court, just put too much on the pass.
There you see
Hugh
Coleman.
Whistle. Right.
Head coach for the Brighton Bengals.
What's this? Is 9th year? 8th year.
8th season for Hugh Coleman. The teams have made the state tournament every season he's been there. I think they've advanced to at least the second or third round every season he's been there. So Brighton has been excellent since he's taken over. Excellent defensive play by De La Rosa. Saragoulis for 3. That one goes down for Darren Saragoulis. Getting into the books. 1-point game now. Brighton on top, 2019. Howard knocking down the long 2.
Yeah, sort of lulled the defender to sleep and able to drain that long one. Zone pressure now.
Charlie Mitchell to the basket and no call inside. Here comes Ty Perry. Trying to go coast to coast, and he does.
Switched hands to get away from the defender's block and able to put it back. 5-point lead now.
Mitchell, this time drawing the contact, and he'll head to the free throw line.
I really think both coaches will have to go deeper into their benches than they may be more comfortable. But this pace is something. Some of these kids are going to start getting in foul trouble. Another foul on Perry underneath. I think that's 2 on him.
And Charlie Mitchell cannot knock down the first. Substitution for the Bengals as Johnny Ortiz comes back in. Along with Akinyele Crawford, who's a freshman, getting some time for the Bengals. And both free throws are missed there by Charlie Mitchell. Daring on his way to the rim. Offensive foul for the Brighton Bengals. That's 3 on them now.
Well, it's interesting because for New Mission, Saragoulis actually usually draws a couple of player control fouls each game. Gives his body up, like you said, that's the third one on Brighton. Still a 5-point lead for the Bengals in black. And we got a hold on Howard. Should be bonus. Yeah. That's 10.
Yeah, that's a double bonus right there.
Yeah, that's 10 team fouls on Brighton. Shot at Corey McCarthy, his 8th year also with the boys. Because prior to that, he coached girls.
That's right. Won a state title with them, then move over to the boys, and now he's got 4.
There you go.
So he's got 5 state titles right now in the trophy case over at New Michigan.
And has been the athletic director for a few years.
That's right. Brought the football team in a few years ago. Speaking of football, Deshaun McLaughlin, the wide receiver, got the first free throw. Couldn't get the second, but Charles Mitchell comes away with a rebound. Inside to Nunez. And he couldn't put that one home.
Bad luck on that one. Yeah.
Howard, what a pass to Ortiz, who couldn't finish. Diaz. Stolen away by Nunez. Nunez all the way to the bucket.
So these guys keep slapping the backboard to try to get blocked shots.
Yeah, our microphones are going to come down if I keep doing that. Saragulis there for the rebound. New Michigan with a chance to tie it up or take the lead for the first time here in the second quarter. Nunez.
Yeah,
he dipped the shoulder.
See, at this point, it's obvious. These two officials, that's one of their favorite calls. we had 5 already in this game?
That's at least 5. Substitution for the Bengals coming back in is Jordan Galloway along with Thomas Mabin. Mabin is a transfer from Boston English. Getting some time here for Brighton Bengals. Both these teams going to play about 10, 12 guys tonight.
Oh, definitely. No doubt
Very
about it.
deep.
Between fatigue and foul trouble.
Here comes Charles Mitchell. Not afraid to spot it up, but he was not able to hit that one. Nunez.
That's a travel, yeah. Had the right idea. He wanted to give a head and shoulders fake and then pass it, but just held on to it a little too long.
You know, watching Kevin Nunez right now, we saw him sort of for the first time last year. Looks so much more confident this
definitely.
season. And I can see what Corey says about him being a really good post player. I mean, he's got such quick inside moves down the
He does good hands. And even, like I said, he's barely 6 feet. I mean, he might be 6 feet, but that's not big for a post player. Even in high school. So far, he has 7 points and 6 rebounds.
Taylor there for the putback and the foul.
Yeah,
Quincy
like
Taylor.
I said, a couple of sequences where the Brighton size inside is helped keep them in this lead. Let's watch it again. We'll see in black from the 12 get this offensive rebound. Smart, keep it high, and go right up.
And Taylor knocks down the free throw. 3-point play for the Brighton Bengals. And they have substitutions. Now we get a timeout by the Titans.
Yeah, they want to catch a breath now. I think
I'm sorry, that's a timeout with the Bengals.
Right,
sorry.
yeah. I think it's this timeout's probably to talk about let's stay aggressive, but watch the fouls because we're still only in the first half. So some of the key guys for Brighton got to stay out of foul trouble. Like we said, they have 11 team fouls here in the first half, which is going to happen when you have a very fast pace. But if you're playing under control, you can still play fast and under control and smart.
Yeah, you mentioned the 5 offensive fouls so far. And both these teams have always been aggressive, like you mentioned. And when you got guards that are that quick, like the Mitchells and the Galloways,
they can match up.
The Howards.
They can all match up.
And they're both guards on each team are annoying to play against. So I can see when guys want to give them a little extra shove once in a while.
And that's a good point, because when you get into the basket and you know the Mitchells either in front of you or beside you, they're quick enough to slide in front of you so they can get run over and draw the foul.
Saragoulis with another three.
Set that one up. He sort of fooled Galloway. Galloway backed up thinking that Saragoulis was going to try to go to the basket.
Johnny Ortiz over to Galloway. Pulls up from the elbow. Can't get it to go. Another rebound. But swiped away by Mabin. Trying to feed it inside to Galloway. Blocked inside by the Titans. Here comes Saragoulis. Oh, poked away by Howard. And Hugh Howard with the lefty layup.
Yeah, big fella's got to get the ball to the guards.
De La Rosa back down the other end.
Good control that time. Made sure he didn't run over Diaz. Or Ortiz, rather.
2-point ball game, just under 2 minutes left to go in the first half.
Really fun game, I'd say, for as early in the season as it is. But again, it's because a lot of these players have been playing minutes for the last 2 or 3 years.
And Ryan talked about it in his opening stand-up as well. Both these teams traveled out of state over the school break. As you see Saragoulis try to line up a three.
That's one of the things that both coaches believe in, taking their kids out of their comfort zone, go out of state, and not just go out of state, but play really tough teams. That's the key to doing it. Take the trip, bond together, play together, and compete against some really top quality high school teams. Like you said, I think, what was it? Brighton got beat by like 30.
Yeah,
20,
against St. Anthony.
Right, in New Jersey.
Which is a historic program coached by Bobby Hurley, senior. Saragoulis is fouled on his way to the rim. Johnny Ortiz with that last basket for the Bengals, and they're up by 4. So now Saragoulis will head to the free throw line, shooting 2 for the Titans.
Yeah, Saragoulis was trying to make up for that last. As Diaz defensively 32. He was actually trying to step in and draw a charge, but didn't quite get there. Yeah, Saragoulis is trying to make up for that last time he dribbled the ball and got stripped and gave up a layup. And coming in now for New Mission, you have Abdul Teslim.
Quincy Taylor also back in for the Bengals. And Saragoulis knocks down the second, so a 3-point lead for Brighton here with 1:10 left to go in the half. Johnny Ortiz lays it down beautifully to Taylor.
I tell you, Taylor got himself in the right spot. Now Ortiz with a reaching foul. Hugh Cohen didn't want that one because it's double bonus, two free throws. Open floor, you don't like seeing that. Game's just too tight.
This is not the guy you want at the free throw line.
That's what I'm saying. You can't give away free points.
As Charles Mitchell hits the first. Charlie Mitchell coming back in, Saragoulis to the bench. And Daring back in for the Bengals.
As is Ty Perry.
Like you said, Alan, Perry pretty quiet. He had that one basket in the transition.
You know, but he's the type of player, he can have a 4 or 5 minute stretch.
Yeah, he could have 20 points in the second
half. There you go, right.
Perry currently the leading scorer for Brighton. As Howard off the back iron with that one. Taylor with another rebound, poked away by the Titans.
Can't bring it down if you're a big fella.
Laughlin no good. De La Rosa with the rebound. Put
Nice
back
job.
no good, but he'll
nice
hit the
job
free
for
throw
De La
line.
Rosa. Wow. Looks like New Mission's getting themselves more into their kind of game this second quarter.
I mentioned Ty Perry. He's averaging almost 25, 26 points a game so far this year.
De La Rosa underneath.
And Alex knocks down the first.
Well, you know, talking about Perry, what you have to like about him, we're not seeing him try to force anything, even though he's used to scoring. He has that one hoop, but like you said, pretty much it'll be a second half situation for him. I know it at halftime. Hugh Coleman and his coaches are going to talk to the players about either setting some screens or doing something else in the half-court set to get Perry going. Because he can take, with his offensive skills, he can take over a game.
Yeah, we mentioned De La Rosa now. He's probably the best scorer for New Mission. Perry's also a scorer.
Definitely.
He's not a great shooter, but he can shoot a little bit. He definitely can score inside. Does a lot of different things offensively.
Yeah, he uses his driving ability to set up his outside shot, and then he uses his outside shot to set up his inside game. A very versatile player. But I think he may have been less aggressive because he's coming out of the game now because he has those 2 fouls. But the second half, he'll be able to go full speed.
Galloway no good on the second. So 3-point advantage for the Bengals. The more substitutions.
Turnover on New Mission, yeah. One of the few times you see that both Mitchells get sort of wrapped up in the backcourt.
Charles Mitchell with a steal. Layup no good. Putback is good for the Titans there by Abdul Tesla. Steal for
Mitchell.
the
Mitchell. Just like that. First lead for New Mission as we got 5 seconds to go in the half.
Here comes Galloway. And Jordan got bailed out a little bit.
I was going to say, forced the action, but he drew the contact. But just like that, back-to-back hoops by New Mission gives them their first lead.
So Galloway will be shooting 2.
Yeah, here comes Galloway. The EC, like you said, Pat, a lot of control, but he's able to draw the contact.
And Jordan does hit the first. Charlie Mitchell rather, to the bench.
Here we go.
Shaquille Murley now in for the final 3 seconds. And Galloway knocks down the second. So the Bengals back on top, 36-35. Steal for the Brighton Bengals. Howard got it off. So at the half here at Madison Park High, it's the Bengals 36, the New Mission Titans 35.
That's a fun half.
If we get a second half, just like we had a first half,
we'll be tired.
That's right. I'm already tired. What a great pace here to start off the season.
Like we said in the open, both teams like pace, and that's exactly what we saw. Think for Brighton, they got in a little bit of foul trouble with some of their starters, will still have to adjust by using some bench guys, but it's going to be zip up and down the whole game.
That's right. For New Mission there in the first half, we talked about their size. That really wasn't a huge issue, it seemed like, in the first half, but the turnovers were giving them some problems.
Right, and that's what they had to clean up. They did get some good work out of the big fellow. Terry Gulas stepped out, took a three-pointer. So, there's lots to talk about, but they know each other so well.
Yep.
It's just a matter of who can keep their key plays on the floor.
Without question. Right now, our sideline reporter is with the head coach of the Brighton Bengals, Hugh Coleman. So, Ryan, take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Coleman from Brighton. And, Coach, close game all throughout. You had a lead a little bit, but then it came back. There were some turnovers. The one thing I want to ask is, it seemed in the beginning of this game, you guys were pretty liberal with the three-point shot. A lot of them weren't falling. Is that usual for you guys?
Yeah, it's usual. Our guys, I got a lot of confidence in their shooting ability. Guys work on it on the offseason. And I want them to shoot the ball with confidence, so it's usual for us.
Okay, just checking, What would you say is the biggest part of your game you have to improve upon in the second half?
Right now, I think little things. I think a couple of times we could have took a couple of charges, and we didn't. They did. They got the benefit out of it, put some of our guys in foul trouble, turn the ball over for us. Then I just think loose balls, rebounding, they're there for us, but we're not grasping them. We can tighten up in the second half. I think we'll be okay.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Good luck in the second half there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, Pat, back to you now.
Thanks very much, Ryan. And I think Coach Coleman's got to be happy with Brighton's performance, but they probably should be ahead by a little bit more considering all the turnovers New Mission has.
Well, that's true, but also think about this. Two of their main scorers, both Galloway and Perry, between them have less than 10 points.
Very true.
So from that standpoint, it's good. It's always good to have a coach see his other players step up.
Right.
And that's exactly what they've done. Daring started the game out with those back-to-back threes. I think he had 10 points for the half. If he continues that, then Brighton doesn't have to worry about their offense, but they've got to do something different. Like Hugh said, a little more effort on the defensive end. A couple of times, like when he noticed it, like we talked about it, they had a chance to sort of step in and maybe draw a play control foul. Didn't quite get there.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of adjustments these two teams can make here at the half. No, all half we were talking about the Mitchell twins of New Mission. We've seen them on the basketball courts in Boston for a lot of years now, and we were able to sit down with them and a couple of their family members and, of course, Coach McCarthy to talk about what it's like for those two guys on the floor. So let's take a look at that right now.
And the New Mission Titans are the Division II state champions. What a run for the Titans here this season.
For almost a decade, the New Mission Titans have been one of the most dominant high school basketball programs in Massachusetts. They've captured 4 state titles in 7 seasons, using a powerful and aggressive style of play, thanks to the sheer size and strength of their players.
New Mission was at a point where we were still very new to the city, and folks didn't really necessarily, they ain't embrace that. We had a style of play that was just sort of like rough, tough. We had these big brutes in the paint.
But over the last couple of years, that sentiment for the Titans has changed, thanks in large part to the arrival of the Mitchell twins, Charles and Charlie.
When these two guys came along, they just made us more likable. Now here comes these kids who just can't stop smiling and won't shut up.
But don't let the Mitchell's infectious personalities fool you. As soon as Charles and Charlie step on the basketball court, their aura changes from basketball darlings to hardwood pests.
You know, here comes Charles and Charlie, so everyone knows what's going to happen. There's going to be turnovers on the other team. There's going to be a lot of noise.
We both yell a lot, like talk. We love to talk, yell, run, like just push the pace, cause havoc on the court. That's what we just have. It's our mentality.
Charles and Charlie's success in the court is fueled by their tireless work ethic, which they've learned from their mom, Paula.
I work nights, 6 at night till 6 in the morning. So they watch me struggle to go, and I go every day. I don't miss a day. So they see if my mother can do it and she can do it and raise us, with this struggle, we can do it too.
Paula is also the one who sparked her son's interest in the game of basketball, even though she had to sacrifice her landscaping in the process.
I had them play black basketball as little kids in the yard. And we played on that little miniature little play thing. Last year I had to throw away the basketball hoop in the yard just so they could stop practicing tearing up my side on my wall.
But where their mother has influenced her twin sons the most is in the classroom, where the Mitchells have consistently made the honor roll.
We all both honor roll students. We've been having that since, I don't know, like our whole life we had honor roll. My mom got us into that mentality, go to school every day, never miss a day. Yeah, she's been on it since day one.
They have to do school. You have to go to school. Some kids don't like school, but Charles and Charlie, as they were growing up, they become to love school. I don't even have to wake my kids up. They get up every morning and go to school on their own. There's no turning over. When I come in the house, they're already gone.
Despite their shared success, there are differences between Charles and Charlie, both on and off the court.
The differences on the court is that Charles really wants to score, and Charles is going to get his points. Charles is the kind of kid that will hunt his shot down. Charlie wants to facilitate, make sure everybody's happy. He takes care of himself with a jump shot here and there.
I'm more like the quiet one. People say he's more like the excited, like he's always around people. I just be to myself sometimes, and I just do like my own thing. He on the other hand, he's like the talking one. He makes sure everybody's together.
But no matter how different they act or play the game that they love, it can still be difficult to distinguish between the two, especially considering they share a similar name.
My dad, actually, his name is Charles Mitchell, so he's a senior, I'm a junior, and he wanted both of us to have his name, and my mom was cool with that.
Their dad's name is Charles, so I had to name both of them after him, and I couldn't spell the same name, so I put them differently, Charles and Charlie.
When we work, I'll go in the back, and he'll come out, and then the person I was helping would be like, you change clothes? Like, where's my sneakers? All the time. And then when I come back out, then they'd be like shocked, like, you got a twin brother?
I would sub one out, and I didn't know which one. Who, go get your brother. And the brother's like, hey, you just put me in. Like, it's not, I'm Charles, I'm Charlie.
What also makes it difficult is that Charles and Charlie are always together, creating a special bond that helps the twins when they're together on the basketball court.
We practice together, we always together, so on the court, it's like we know where we at. So like when I'm on a fast break, I'll be like, Charlie, I'm in the corner. And he'll be like, my brother's in the corner, so he'll pass it to me.
When I'm with my brother, I feel like me and him, it's like we could do everything together.
The twins continue to be double trouble for opposing backcourts, and double the stress for their mom watching in the stands.
Me and my brother would fall all the time, like anything. It could be like, I'm trying to dive for the ball, she'll be in the crowd, she'll be like all the time, she would just, oh my, I just look at her, like, I just happen to look at her when I'm getting up, she'd be like.
I'm on edge of the seat when I'm watching the game. It's like, please, just do what you gotta do, don't get hurt.
Entering their senior season, the Mitchell twins are the unquestioned leaders of New Mission, and will look to add more hardware to an already crowded trophy case. But even if 2017 doesn't result in another state title for the Titans, Charles and Charlie will still leave a lasting legacy that extends well beyond the New Mission basketball court.
All of my former players, they always say, hey, we were the best, until they come see Charles and Charlie play. It really just comes from their level of communication with and how they treat people. They treat people, their mom has just done a tremendous job, because they treat people, they treat everybody like their best friends. And this being my last year coaching at New Mission, honestly, I was going to stop coaching at New Mission at the end of last year. And I just looked at those two guys and I was like, if I'm stepping down, I want to step down with the two highest character kids that ever walked through the doors of this program.
There you have it, the Mitchell twins, Charles and Charlie Mitchell. And I think the last part of that piece is what's most important. I think a lot of people know now this is the last season for Corey McCarthy here at New Mission. He's going to step down after this year. He was going to actually do it last year, go out on top as a state champion, but he wanted to finish off the senior season of the Mitchell twins.
Right.
And I think that speaks to, how important these guys have been to the program. We've seen some great players come through New Mission. But, those two guys right now seem to be the most important.
Well, like you said, he mentioned character. He mentioned what they meant to the program during their time. So it made sense for him to come back to coach them their final season. It really did. And I think that clearly the players appreciate that. You see the effort they're putting out.
Without question. Let's take a look at the halftime stats before we start off here for the third quarter at Madison Park High School. And first up, we're going to take a look at the New Mission stats.
We talked about pace. 7 points, Nunez, Saragulis, the big fella hitting the three-pointer from the corner. He also had 7 rebounds, 6 for Nunez, and De La Rosa with 4, and then assists. Both Mitchells had 2 each.
Well, let's take a look at Brighton stats.
For Brighton, Daring, like we said, started out the game with those back-to-back threes, ended up with 10 points for the half. Taylor added 7. Taylor also had 5 rebounds. Ty Perry had 4 rebounds. Like you said, wasn't scoring, but he did some other things. Galloway with 4 assists, and Ortiz with 1.
And we're just about ready to start the third quarter here at Madison Park High. As there you see some highlights of Michael Daring.
We talked about how he started the game. Both, that's not a replay. That's 2 different shots he made from the same spot.
As you see Michael getting out of the break as well. We've always seen him as a sharp shooter.
Right.
But he's also getting inside for some buckets.
A lot of energy.
In the first half.
A lot of energy. And when you add that outside shooting of his, complete package.
So Brighton starts off the third quarter with the basketball. In a 1-point lead. Here's Ty Perry trying to work on De La Rosa. And he's able to squeeze it home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not surprised that during the halftime break, Hugh Coleman figured, okay, this is what we're going to run. Try to get Ty going.
Good cut inside from Nunez,
nice
Saragulis.
Yeah, Nunez hurt himself. I think he came down on his ankle or his knee.
Yeah, he's really grabbing his ankle.
That's a shame.
That is not a guy that the Titans can lose.
Yeah, he made a beautiful pass, but apparently came down on the defender's foot, rolled his ankle over. See if we can. Oh yeah, rolled the right ankle.
I've done that before. That is not fun.
Well, the only good thing about it, as long as it's not an actual fracture, it hurts real bad as soon as it happens.
Right.
But a couple of minutes, get some oxygen into your blood, get some circulation in the joint. Because he actually has high top shoes on, but sometimes they don't give you enough support when you, like he did, come down on someone's foot.
Yeah, hopefully that's just a rolled ankle. And I think Kevin's probably going to be done for the rest of this game.
He was having a good game, too.
Yeah.
He was having a really good game.
But we're just hoping it's not a long-term injury for Kevin Nunez. That is such a normal basketball injury, too. I mean, I've done it playing rec league basketball.
Oh, yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, it's just too bad. You can't even put any weight on it. That's really bad. And you know, I guess the new term is high ankle sprain the last few years. And basically, it means that it's a more severe injury. Just they'll look at it, ice it down. First thing, icing down elevation and examine it. Like I said, hopefully there's no fracture involved.
Yeah, if I were to guess, I'd say that ankle is going to be about 3 times its size.
Oh, easily. That's
tomorrow
end of the
morning.
game.
Yeah.
End of this game is going to be big.
Right, as soon as he takes his shoe off. So after the injury, now it's Brighton with the feed inside to Diaz, and he scores.
I like that play because Daring, who's having a good offensive game, could have easily gone to the basket himself. Diaz was closer, found them, gave him the easy layup.
It's a steal by Diaz as Charlie Mitchell tried to feed it inside. Daring for 3.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That was in his hands for about 0.5 seconds.
What did you have for lunch today? Whatever the Friday lunch was, let's have it on some other game days.
13 points now for Michael Daring. De La Rosa getting that one to go.
If you got that long body, he gets inside and can squeeze up some shots. The Mission's trying to come back with some full court pressure.
And
nice
a turnover.
steal.
Can't do that when the Mitchells are on the floor. Good swing to De La Rosa on the drive. Gets another one to go.
Back to back for De La Rosa.
Back to a 2-point game. Perry off the spin move.
Nice spin. 360 move. Well, that's 2 hoops for him here in the early third quarter.
Here comes McLaughlin. He's short with that lay-in.
Nice move, just couldn't finish.
Daring for 3 again. That one around the rim and out. Diaz offensive rebound. Can't squeeze it home. Good hustle there from Michael Daring. Diaz underneath. Poked
nice
away
steal
by Charlie Mitchell.
Beautiful steal by Mitchell.
Charles thought about a 3. Charlie going to slow it up now for the Titans.
De La Rosa got their shot up.
De La Rosa, top of the key, off the front rim.
Yeah, Perry on the baseline, trying to get the ball to him. It's against De La Rosa.
Galloway going to work on McLaughlin, and
reaching.
Deshaun with the foul at the elbow. Substitutions for the Bengals.
Coming in.
Yeah, it's Taylor and Howard back in.
Yeah, Taylor played well off the bench. Quincy played well off the bench in the first half. They earned some early minutes here in the third quarter.
Galloway, beautiful feed to Taylor. Lost it on the way up.
Good defense, actually. McLaughlin, a little bit of a reach in to make that shot short.
De La Rosa. Saragoulis. McLaughlin, third time's a charm for Deshaun. Sometimes we see a guy get hurt, that team sort of gets a little timid. Not the Titans.
The Titans actually get more aggressive. That's going to be a blocking foul on Saragulis, I'm sorry.
But the offensive fouls that have been called in this game, that could have gone either way.
I was going to say.
Perry on the drive. That timing was short.
Good defense again as baseline defense came up to challenge the shot.
And De La Rosa.
He loves that right side.
He does.
Loves that right side. Tied the game.
Jordan Galloway. Ortiz with a short jumper. Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, Ortiz was there to bail out Galloway. He just lost control of the ball.
Brighton regains the 2-point lead. Charlie Mitchell, corner three. Off the back rim. Saragulis getting fouled on the putback.
Well, I think we talked about the message from Hugh Coleman to Brighton. It seems to be the message from Corey McCarthy to his new mission players was we're all going to be far more aggressive on the offensive glass because this third quarter has been much different from what we saw in the first half.
Saragulis now at 9 points and 8 rebounds with the Titans. No good on the first free throw. Substitutions for Brighton as Daring comes back in. Along with Akinyele Crawford, the freshman.
Daring's been really consistent throughout the entire game.
Sagarulis good with the second. One-point ball game, 3:30 left to go in the third. No good as the freshman from the corner.
A little too excited that time.
Charlie Mitchell from the elbow. 1-point lead now for New Mission. Derrick off the back iron, gets his own rebound. And his shot is blocked by Shaq Murray. Galloway with the steal. And Jordan will head to the charity strike. You think either of these teams want to win this game?
Well, I tell you what, the best, maybe the best thing for both coaches is tomorrow's Saturday. They can all sleep late.
That's right.
Because the energy they're putting out is unbelievable. So you see, nice play by Galloway. Get the steal, but still having some trouble at the free throw line. Looking over at the New Mission sideline, it's really too bad about Nunez being out. You're definitely right. He's out for the game.
Galloway missing both free throws, so the Mission still with a 1-point lead, just under 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Murray gets blocked inside by Taylor. Howard from the corner. And Charles Mitchell throws it off of Galloway. Smart play there by Charles. And now we got a timeout. Just to check on Jordan. He's all right.
Not gonna come out, just get basketball in the face. It's like a jab. Yeah. I still want to play, Coach.
Yeah. Shaquille Murray well off the mark on that three.
So this Quincy Taylor off the bench has really played well for Brighton.
And Galloway's fouled at the elbow. That was a good foul by New Mission because Brighton had numbers on that transition.
Right. I mean, Taylor's running, and they had numbers because Taylor, who got the rebound and made the outlet pass, sprinted down court. He was under the basket. I'm not sure how much he's played in the first few games, but against this kind of competition, he's earning himself more minutes down the line for the rest of the season. That size, if you can have somebody come off the bench with that kind of size.
We know Brighton already has some size, but of course they're still waiting for the big fella for Brighton to come back. Gerard Clark, the big tight end from the football team.
Right. I saw him.
He tore a ligament in his thumb later on in the football season, I believe in November. So he's coming back, I think, late January for Brighton.
He was out here, saw him in his warm-ups before the game, shooting around. But you're absolutely right. They can't wait for him. He's a legitimate power forward in the basketball.
He is a big boy. Very athletic, too. You're going to have Taylor, Diaz, and Clark. De La Rosa, meanwhile, boy, he got down the floor fast.
3-point lead now in the mission.
Ty Perry gets fouled on his way to the bucket. That's going to be on Trey Qualls.
Qualls tried to get a clean block, but young players always have a tendency of swiping. Watch this again. Watch Qualls. See, with that last bit of a swipe, if he's gone up straight, if he just kept his arms straight, it probably wouldn't have been a foul.
Perry knocks down that free throw. 2 for 2 from the line is Ty Perry. Here comes De La Rosa. Unable to get that one to go. Putback is good. There from Deshaun McLaughlin.
Yeah. Got numbers. Oh, too much on that pass. Too bad. Again, Taylor is just sprinting down the court. Big fella. Getting himself open. That time, Perry just put too much on that pass.
De La Rosa lining up a three, well short. What a save by Charles Mitchell. Charlie now over to De La Rosa. Unable to score inside. And then they call a foul on the Titans.
Copley very close to a technical foul. They're kicking a chair over on his bench.
See what Corey's looking at, too, because there was a lot of contact.
A lot of contact.
Down low, and then Perry got fouled in a similar manner that other guys were getting hit.
And it wasn't that much because Perry still had control of the ball.
Yeah.
But it's one of those situations that I really think there's just so much going on. Now, Coffey being instructed by one of the officials to calm down.
They told him to go sit in the chair, but he kicked the chair over.
Kicked the chair, right? Yeah. Hey, no chair.
Say, guys, you want me to sit Indian style on the floor?
Well, it's the pace of the game has made it a more difficult game to officiate. Nice pass inside. Wow.
Wide open. Layup inside for Maven.
Got that one.
And we're going to foul on the Brighton Bengals. I think Maven was whistled for that one.
Right. 1 point game. As Sarah Goulas back in for the mission. You see a shot of Nunez. At least he's smiling now. Pain, that initial pain we talked about is now subsided some.
Well, somebody probably told him your season's not over. Your ankle's going to be huge tomorrow.
And you're young, so you're going to be all right. Get it all checked out.
Sarah Goulas inside.
Got a little rolling hook that time. You see, the first half we saw him step out to the corner, hit a three.
Galloway just threw that one up. Wide open is Charlie Mitchell down the other end.
5-point lead for New Michigan, their biggest lead of the game.
20 seconds left to go here in the quarter. Perry really nowhere to go. Charles Mitchell with a rebound. 9 seconds left. And Charles Mitchell
It's only a third team foul on Brighton. So this will be an out-of-bounds play. 8 seconds, plenty of time to get a good shot off.
Four seconds left before halftime. Saragoulis lining up a three. We got a good one cooking here at the Matadome. New Mission 56, Brighton 51. We're going to head to break. When we come back, fourth quarter here on Game of the Week, right after these words.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I've just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury. For Game of the Week, the New Mission Titans lead the Brighton Bengals 56-51. Folks, next week we're going to be right back here because we got another big game coming up next week. On the girls' side, it's going to be the Fenway Panthers taking on the New Mission Titans. We talk about a rivalry on the boys' side. This goes back even further with Fenway and New Mission.
Exactly. The girls' side of it is even... you don't want to say ferocious, but it's
ferocious. Believe me.
It's testy.
Testy, that's right. Folks, if you want to check us out on social media, make sure you check out our Facebook page. Search for Game of the Week. A lot of good stuff up there. Pictures, videos, graphics, a lot of fun stuff up there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW.
That's it. I'm over there looking at Hugh Colburn. He's over there steaming because he hates to see his team throw the ball away as much as they did in that third quarter.
Charles Mitchell almost lost it, but that'll stay with the Titans.
And the Mission, that third quarter, was able to get themselves back into their regular sort of flow of offense, especially in the half-court set.
I was surprised at the end of that quarter with the lead just because Nunez went out with their lack of height and inside play.
You know, the point you made was a good one. A lot of times when a key player goes out, teams will not play as well. Or it may go the opposite direction as it did with New Mission. They actually play with more aggression. Saragoulis trying to get to the basket. The block shots, and New Mission will keep control on the baseline. But also, it just shows how deep New Mission is.
Charlie Mitchell, end of the shot clock, and that's going to be a shot clock violation on the Titans.
Small mistake that time by Mitchell. First thing you do as a guy, look at the shot clock, see what you have to work with, especially when you're as deep as being close to half court.
Johnny Ortiz, corner three off the back rim. Laughlin working against Perry. Saragoulis going baseline.
That's the crossover there by Saragoulis. You don't see your center much crossover dribble too often.
Saragoulis is a very...
crossover right there, yeah. Interesting play. I mean, he's
unique.
Game.
He's a unique type of player. Charles Mitchell well off on that three. Saragoulis.
Hey, on cue, right, Pat? That time they got burned by one hook. That time they're waiting for it.
Diaz was there.
Yeah, blocked that into the stands.
Galloway back in, Perry to the bench. inside. Zagarulis squeezes it home for the Titans.
That was just upper body strength on that one. 7-point lead now for New Michigan.
Howard inside to Diaz.
Good job by Howard. That quick step to force the defense to him, opened up his teammate for the layup.
De La Rosa. Hard layup by De La Rosa.
We talked about, you made that point early on. That he's their most, I guess, versatile scorer. He now has 15.
Daring lays it down to Diaz. Back and forth we go here at Madison.
Brighton, everyone is trying to take the ball to the basket to open up a teammate.
De La Rosa gets blocked inside. Here comes Daring now for three.
Yep.
Nothing but nets. 2-point ball game after the three from Daring. That's 5 threes on the night for Micah.
He has a quick release, my goodness.
Charles Mitchell to answer. Charles Mitchell with a dagger for the Titans.
And a timeout for New Mission as Corey McCarthy wants to do something defensively, get a message out there to stop this penetration by Brighton.
5-point lead for the Titans here, 5:07 left to go in the fourth quarter. My goodness, what an opening game we've had here.
I want this one to go another quarter. This is a lot of fun.
Hey, it's a 5-point game. It just might. I mean,
it's been close the entire game.
And we've mentioned the titles that these two teams have gobbled up over the last few seasons.
It's a source of pride. Yeah, you feel like you got to live up to something.
That's right.
Even though it's only the 5th game of the year.
That's right. I mean, you look at New Mission's got 4 state championships. Brighton has 1 and actually lost 1 in 2012.
That's right.
You look at the city championships. Brighton won the city title in 2013. New Mission won the city title in 2014. Right. Brighton won the city title in 2015. New Mission won the city title last year in 2016.
It's like a seesaw. Right.
It's really been a great rivalry, especially since these two coaches took over. And it's continued here tonight at Madison Park. New Mission with a 5-point lead over the Brighton Bengals. Just over 5 minutes left to go here in regulation.
Interesting defense for New Mission. They're playing like a matchup zone. Now they're going straight man-to-man.
Galloway, what a drive by Jordan.
That's the kind of play that Hugh Coleman wants from him, because if he's aggressive going for the basket, if he gets challenged, he can drop it off to open teammate.
First field goal for Jordan Galloway. Zagarulis. Zagarulis short on the 3, and now we have an over-the-back call.
Now, what's important about that, that's going to create bonus for Brighton. They'll be shooting 1-1, and again, Quincy Taylor. I like what he's done tonight for Brighton. Getting extended minutes because he's earned them when he first came in the first quarter. Hustle both ends, rebounding, running the floor. He's he's still growing.
Yeah. Sort of raw size for Quincy Taylor. And knocks down the first. He was a heck of a defensive end during a football season where Brighton got to the state semifinals, almost made it to the Super Bowl. They were undefeated actually going into the state semifinals. And he was a big part of their defense.
You can see why. Man. He's that quickness of his.
And he knocks down the second free throw. Back to a 1-point ball game, 4:31 left in the fourth quarter. McLaughlin inside. No good. Nobody can hang on to the basketball. Wide open is McLaughlin underneath.
Yeah, McLaughlin fell down, and so he couldn't get back. Got a very easy hoop.
Galloway for three. McLaughlin with a heck of a rebound.
Yeah.
Now it's Charlie Mitchell on the break.
It happens quickly. Both teams are capable of putting together back-to-back-to-back hoops. Here's Derring. You gotta watch Derring.
One off the mark for Howard. Here comes Charlie. Over to Charles for three. Well off the mark with Charles Mitchell.
Derring's open. There you go.
Michael off the back iron. Saragoulis up to McLaughlin. Couldn't get it to go. And that's off of Howard.
Yeah, Johnny Ortiz. Good defense by Johnny Ortiz to challenge that shot. Yeah, Brighton needs a timeout. They've got 3:11 to go. They're down 5 right now, and New Mission has the ball.
So the Bengals call a timeout with 3:11.
Yeah, Hugh Coleman knows he got to get the guys to calm down a bit to turn over some better offense. The aggressive play is fine, but you've got to be under control.
Both these teams traveling out of state over the holiday break. As Ryan mentioned, Brighton went down in New Jersey. They lost to that legendary St. Anthony's team. Then they beat Trenton High School by a significant margin. So that was a good trip for them. Meanwhile, New Mission was all over the place. They took Windsor, Connecticut, went down to Florida, played a couple of teams down there. They've had a heck of a, both these teams. It's good when these teams travel out of state.
Well, that's the thing, and that's when you start seeing, okay, what's the difference between a team and a program? Okay,
that's a very good point.
That's what we're seeing, because not all the high schools do that. Whether it's a matter of resources or the players just aren't ready, or the coaches don't feel confident to really make that kind of commitment. Because like you said, they do it every year. They go out somewhere every year, and it's mentally, both coaches feel is very important, because it allows the players to see and play against some top-notch competition from other parts of the country.
I think this marks the 4th year that Brighton has played St. Anthony's. It's always a tough game going out there. They usually lose, but it really helps them throughout the rest of the season. Derring on the break.
Good control that time. As Jella Rosa was actually in good defensive position, but Derring able to finish.
3-point ball game. 2:42 left to go. Charlie Mitchell. Charles with the rebound. Saragoulis. Saragoulis with the lefty lay-in for the Titans.
Good job. Beat Archie's off the dribble. Timeout, New Mission.
Well, Darren Saragoulis has quietly had a very nice game.
Very good game.
16 points and 13 rebounds for Darren Saragoulis. And his Titans are on top by 5 over the Brighton Bengals. 2:15 left on the clock. But right now for Brighton.
Watch this move. Get the step. You know, like I said, Taylor's 6'5". He definitely wanted to get a block, but he got beat with the step.
Right now for Brighton, you got to think somebody else has got to get it going besides Michael Derring.
And the thing is, we sort of all game have been waiting for Ty Perry to get going, but he just never really done the throw of anything offensively. But with 2:15 to go, you can start going to him, because he got that strong body. He can get inside. He can try to create some basket and foul situations, try to get 3-point plays. I think from Brighton, I think that's where I would go. Try set something up for Perry, similar to what they did at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. They stuck him on the baseline, ran a couple of picks. He was able to get some back-to-back hoops to start the quarter.
So out of the timeout, Brighton with the ball down by 5. New Mission without Kevin Nunez, who got hurt early in the second half. They do have a 5-point lead. You see Ty Perry back in for the Bengals, and he's forcing
exactly
the action.
what I expected. Yeah.
Couldn't get the bucket, but it led to the strike.
That's the kind of play you wanted, because, like I said, he's strong enough to get his shot off, even if he's getting fouled or getting bumped. So he earns 2 free throws. Nice little simple move up against De La Rosa.
And Ty's able to get the first one to go.
Friendly rims down here at the Matadome.
Perry's 2 for 2 from the stripe, and it is a 3-point ball game. McLaughlin launching a 3 and hitting.
Big shot.
Big time 3 for Deshaun McLaughlin. Johnny Ortiz looking to answer. Short with that one. Ty Perry with a big rebound. And that'll stay with Brighton.
That was a huge shot by McLaughlin. One of those shots that I'm not sure if Corey McCarthy really wanted that 3 that early in the shot clock, but once it went down,
he said,
"Love the results."
Yes. Ty Perry. Got it poked away.
But I think De La Rosa might have got a piece of that.
McLaughlin. Whoa! They're going to call a goaltend on Derry. I think it did hit the backboard first.
Oh.
And was above the rim.
Good hustle play by Derry.
So they count the bucket, 74-66. Offensive foul on Jordan Galloway.
Well, more of the same. And McLaughlin's had a really quiet, a very effective, quiet game. 11 points in the second half.
Under a minute to go here at Madison Park. New Mission nursing an 8-point lead.
Make it 10.
McLaughlin with another basket.
Taylor, that was just a mistake by Quincy. The ball went up on the board, and the 6'5" junior went up to get it, and it's just too late. So, I like the way New Mission took control of this in the third quarter.
That'll seal it for the Titans as they get another turnover. Here comes Charlie, smartly slowing it up for New Mission as they don't have to force the action. Oh, De La Rosa's going to do it anyway. Alex De La Rosa with another bucket.
Well, again, we see this a lot. Very deceiving score in terms of what type of game it was.
Johnny Ortiz with that basket for the Bengals, 78-68. Ty Perry off the steal.
That's going to do it.
So the New Mission Titans will hang on to win 78-70 here at Madison Park. What a game here at the Matadome. And the defending champs continue their streak of winning over Brighton.
Well, like you mentioned, Pat, playoff, tournament, atmosphere, huge crowd, and two really good teams who like to play similar styles.
That's right. We certainly saw both teams go back and forth, especially that opening quarter was nuts. I mean, those teams
like
went back and forth,
right?
And it was like, wow, is this how the whole game's going to be? I mean, these guys are going to be gassed.
Like a relay race.
Yeah. I mean, it
but
was
adrenaline,
really
I tell you, the adrenaline for these young players, like you said, they are guys who are so familiar because they've been battling.
That's right.
Would you say the seesaw? It was like New Mission, Brighton, New Mission, Brighton.
City championships, right. So these two guys very familiar with each other, and they had another chapter to their rivalry here tonight. New Mission wins by 8. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the Game of the Week MVP along with the final stats from this ball game right after these words. Don't go away.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Thank you. Good night. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta go. But you gotta get out of here.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you going to make of me?
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. You're going to get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh, yeah. Yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Got a quarter?
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the eye.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, the Brighton Bengals defeated the New Mission Titans defeated the Brighton Bengals.
Rewind that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, strike that, reverse it. New Mission once again taking down Brighton, and quietly, Darren Sagarulis had a great game for the New Mission
Titans.
Titans.
I mean, we talked about New Mission being undersized in the front court. He stepped in as the starting center, basically,
right,
and was able to, in the first half, step out, hit a couple of outside shots. But, like you said, most of his work was inside. Double-digit points, double-digit rebounds, and he was very key, very consistent the whole game.
Yeah, 18 points, 13 boards for Sagarulis, and he is with our sideline reporter, Ryan Provencher. Ryan, take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with the game MVP, Darren Sagarulis. Darren,
18 points, 16 rebounds. How'd you feel tonight?
I felt good. I just did whatever I needed to do to let my team win. One of our crucial players got hurt tonight, so I knew I had to step up for a crucial role to win this game.
Right. Obviously, you could tell big atmosphere here tonight. Definitely didn't feel like a regular season game. How did you guys approach it?
We approached it like any other game. Work hard, take charges, run. We run a lot at practice, so we know we've been through this multiple times. We knew they couldn't run with us, and we just had to speed them up.
Right, and it definitely looked like your three-point game was on tonight, especially early on. How'd it feel?
It felt good. I haven't been shooting well lately, but coaches have faith in me to knock down the open shot, take the open shots, so I believe in myself.
Hey, great game. Congratulations. All right, Coach, like I said to him, certainly did not feel like a regular season game. I talked to you before the game about this. What did you say to your guys at halftime?
Well, you know, I feel like any game that's part of our game plan. If a game is close, I feel like we're a good third quarter team. And I think once we're able to go on our runs, we want to sustain the runs and not give up leads. That's just our plan. Everybody's going to play us tough in the first half because they respect us. And, you know, and when teams are making shots, even though they're contested, there's nothing you can do, you know. So we just wait till the third quarter and let our energy and let our conditioning take over so we could make better mental decisions.
Right. Definitely since last you guys lost a little bit of size.
Yeah.
That was apparent on the court tonight, but you guys still were able to come through. How are you able to compensate for that?
Well, you know, it's a group thing. My assistant coaches, they talk to specific kids during the game. I'm talking to kids, I'm reminding them. You know, it's just almost like they sometimes when their mind gives up on them, they hear the voices of the coaches talking to them. So from there, we just, you know, kids listen and they buy in and they're mentally tough enough to make the right decision upon hearing what we're saying, and it pays off for us.
Coach, thanks so much. Congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you now.
Ryan, thanks very much. Coach McCarthy, used to this, especially winning at this gym. We talked about all the city championships, but, you know, both these teams are going to be two of the better teams in the city throughout the season, and certainly new mission, despite losing guys in the offseason to graduation and transfers, and despite losing Nunez in the third quarter.
That's probably Corey's biggest
they
concern
were able
right
to hang
now.
on.
Yeah, well, they're a seasoned team. Both teams, both Brighton and New Mission, are seasoned. And I'd say your hot streak's still good in terms of picking these games. It's football season. It started. And now
this was an easy one. We knew this was going to be a good one coming in. Let's take a look at the final stats from this game before we sign off from Madison Park High. And first up, it's the Brighton Bengals.
There's Brighton, as we talked about. Daring had a great game with his 18 points, 12 for Perry. Rebounds, Perry had 9. Taylor had 6 off the bench. And assists, Galloway would end up with 7 assists, Ortiz 4, so 11 between those two backcourt players.
Well, let's take a look at New Mission stats.
New Mission, again, Saragoulas, the outstanding player, started out in the first half with 2 big three-point shots. Second half did most of his action inside with those 16 points. 17 points for De La Rosa. Saragoulas also had 16 big rebounds. Charlie Mitchell with 7 rebounds from the backcourt. With assists, Charlie Mitchell with 9 and De La Rosa with 6. So we talk about spreading things out. And what I really like what Coach McCarthy just said to Ryan in terms of we know we're a third quarter team. So he clearly has convinced his players, regardless of what happens in the first half, you know the third quarter is going to be ours. And that's what happened tonight.
That's right. They had the lead at the end of the third quarter, never relinquished it. It got to a tie, I think, but they never lost the lead after the third quarter. So the Titans win another one here at Madison Park High. Folks, I want to thank everyone for joining us here on Game of the Week. If you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly follow us on Facebook. That's Game of the Week at Facebook. You can search for Game of the Week in there. We've got a lot of good stuff up there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV, and make sure you use the hashtag BostonGOW if you want to tweet at us. You can also go to our website and take a look at any game that we've covered either in football season, last year's basketball season, and now all the games we're going to be doing this basketball season. That's www.cityofboston.gov/Game of the Week. real quick. We have a brand new truck here at BNN. Our engineers, Dennis Dutra, Brett Rodriguez, and Bradley Lewis did a fantastic job squeezing it together from Thanksgiving when football season ended till when basketball season started here today. So, guys, thank you so much. You did a phenomenal job. Thank you to our crew. We're looking forward to this 2017 basketball season here on Game of the Week. Folks, take care. Have a good night.